Hi, my name is Hannah and I am 19 years old. Today is February 23rd and I'm speaking with Jade, who is my roommate and my teammate, and we are recording in our dorm. So, Jade, can you tell me about someone who has had a big influence on your life and what lessons did that person teach you?
When I think about this question, I think about my parents. They're not necessarily one specific person, but the unity that they come together as. I think their influence on me is tremendous. I'm only 18, and so I feel like they have been the biggest people that have influenced my life over the last 18 years. Just because they push me to be better every day and to find like kind of what I'm passionate about and create a life for myself and to go out and live it. I think some of the lessons that they've taught me, they truly value being a kind person and like caring for others and trying to like understand where people are coming from. So I think that's one. And then the second one would be how important sport is. Obviously, Hannah mentioned we're teammates, so we're obviously here playing sport, but they taught me that sport comes with so many benefits other than just like the physical well-being of being able to run around or refine a skill, but also like the communication and collaboration and all those other skills of working with people that you need as you grow up and get into a career field.
Cool. Yeah. So, similar question. Were there any teachers who have had a particularly strong influence on your life, and can you tell me about them?
So I think this kind of sparks a teacher that I had when I was really young. I was in first grade, living in New Zealand at the time. And me and my best friend would spend a lot of our spare time with her during lunch time. She would be on duty watching like the playground or the fields. And we would walk around her holding her hand and just, I don't even know what we were talking about, but like just having her comfort there and just knowing that like someone other than my parents cared about me and had an influence on my life. I mean, it was a long time ago that she was ever in my life. And so the fact that she's like, I think about her, am reminded of her, shows me that she's had a big influence on my life. I think another teacher that has had a big influence on my life would be my fourth grade teacher when I moved to Shanghai. She taught almost all my subjects other than like the extra like PE and music and art. But I would see her every day and she was kind of like a comfort person now that I'd left all my friends and my extended family back in New Zealand.
Cool, yeah. So, what would you say is like your proudest accomplishment of your life?
I think my proudest accomplishment would be college, which I feel like is kind of cliche for people that do get to college because that's one of the bigger things that you've done in your 18 years of life. And so I think college for me kind of is a sign or like an achievement that I did well academically or that I put a lot of effort in during high school. But also like with my sport, which is another big passion of mine. And so the two of them or that I'm going to college for sport, the two of them together kind of like solidifies how I feel. Yeah, that I feel that this is like kind of the biggest thing I've been able to accomplish.
So, how has your life been different than what you'd imagined it be like?
Well, I would be living, I think, in a different country than what I thought I would be. Well, I'm living in a different country than what I thought I was going to be a few years ago. Initially, I think college in the U.S. had always been like a plan, but never like plan A. It was kind of always like this is a possible solution based on like my dad coming to college in the States, but it was never like this is definitely plan A. I think plan A for me was to go home to Australia where I obviously had a lot of educational opportunities based on the fact that my passport was Australian. And they have good universities, and that was kind of what I was trying to achieve. And then volleyball kind of became an opportunity, and I couldn't really say no. I decided that I should just try it, and if I didn't want to do it, then I always have a backup option, which is to go to Australia. So if my life did look different, I think I'd definitely be, or if it was different, I would definitely be living in Australia, going to university.
Yeah. If you were to die suddenly this evening, what would you regret not having done, and why haven't you done it yet?
I think a life goal of mine is to do as much travel as I can, obviously with the means of money and time, but kind of whatever I can accomplish around the world would be a really big goal of mine. And so if I was to die tonight, I wouldn't necessarily regret it. It would just be kind of sad that I never got to experience it. And so I wouldn't say that, like, I'm not working towards it necessarily right now, but, like, yeah, I just feel like I wouldn't have had enough years to live that sort of life.
Yeah. Okay, last question. If you were to give advice to me or my children, or even your children that you're going to have someday, what advice would you give them?
I think this falls back on the lessons that my parents taught me, and I truly believe that, like, the way your parents parent you is kind of how you end up parenting your own children, or, like, I guess giving advice to other children. And that would be to find, like, a hobby or a passion that is outside of, like, your everyday life, whether that's school or elementary or preschool, whatever like stage of life you're in, outside of kind of just doing the mundane things, trying to find something that really that you really enjoy. And I think I'm a big advocate for kind of trying a lot of different things, like whether you like sport, then try different sports, or if you like arts, then try like different fields within that. And so I think that would be my biggest piece of advice, because I feel like life is too short just to do the same thing every day.
I agree. Okay, thank you for interviewing with me.